Awareness, Health and Environmental Alternatives, starring internationally acclaimed investigative reporter, compelled to help change people's lives. Two-time winner Crystal Awards, the man who tells it like it is, Basil Gold.
Hello everybody and welcome back. You know, on each show of awareness, we bring to you the latest research on how we can not only stop the aging and disease clock, but how we can totally reverse it. On today's show, we're privileged and honored to have with us pioneers in nutrition and anti-aging. And we also have visuals, actual, virtual, and animated visuals of the immune system that will blow you away and totally inform you how your body works, how the immune system works. We have with us Paul Juba today, and Paul Juba is the founder, director of a holistic health center, publisher, and without you, we would not have had this show today, so I thank you for coming in, Paul.
Well, thank you, Basil. Glad to be here. And I really value the important knowledge that you share in this show, and by applying those principles, I'm the healthiest I've been in 46 years, and I plan on living another 100. And the man who's going to help me do it is my mentor here today, Steve Cherniske. He's a world-renowned biochemist. He's a best-selling author. He ran the country's first FDA clinical testing nutrition laboratory. He's worked with Olympic athletes and trained many Olympic athlete world record holders. And he's the author of 3 books, one of them a bestseller.
Okay, well, let's speak to Steve Cherniske. I can hardly wait to see him again. You know, Steve, we are really happy. I'm particularly happy to have you here today. I must tell you, you haven't gotten any older.
That's good.
In a year since I've last seen you. The question is, have you gotten any younger?
Yes, biologically I have. Chronologically, we're all a year older, and so are you, but biologically I think we're both going backwards.
The premature aging, Steve, of Americans and diseases is due to nutritional starvation, environmental depletion, and deterioration. So we have to find, and I have found, we have to find substances, and that God-given substances on this earth that can change us for forever. Now, you have got a miracle substance that you've done unbelievable research on called aloe. Tell me about the wonders of aloe and youthfulness.
The nice thing about aloe is that it works on both sides of the aging seesaw. What I like to do is explain that aging is a seesaw between damage and repair. We all know that we experience damage every day. We all know that the body has an amazing ability to repair that damage, but that declines as we age. So we're all used to thinking the seesaw is going this way. What we're proving now is that the seesaw goes both ways, and aloe plays an important role because it helps to improve the body's ability to repair, and it helps to reduce the damage that you experience. Both sides of the seesaw in one natural product.
Aloe.
Aloe.
It has so many other phenomenal collagen synthesis. I mean, that's why they use it in all the products. You've done, what kind of research have you put into the aloe?
Well, my research group has more published studies and more patents on aloe than anybody else. The family of companies that I'm associated with grows about 35% of the world's supply of aloe, so we're the largest producer of aloe in the world, and so we really do focus a lot on this. And again, everybody looking at this show right now knows the healing properties of aloe that you apply topically. What we've done is proven the healing ability of aloe when you ingest it, when you drink it.
What are the substances in aloe that create this youthfulness?
Well, there's a group of polysaccharides. I don't want to get too complex,
right.
but they're long-chain saccharides which have immune-stimulating activity, wound-healing activity, antioxidant activity, all within one plant. Now, we've gone from the study of aloe, as Paul mentioned, to studying other medicinal plants with the goal, ultimately, of literally looking at every medicinal plant that exists for their ability to confer that seesaw benefit, improving repair, reducing damage, and helping people live longer, healthier lives.
Right. People think that it's downward, and that's the way it is because the news says so.
All conventional scientists look at the aging process and go, oh, well, that's just the way it is. And we look at it and go, excuse me, haven't you noticed that there are some people who are aging very slowly, like yourself, and there are some people who are aging very fast? Well, if we all know that people age at different rates, the question is why?
So the simplicity is, if it's that easy to go downhill, it's very easy. The substances and the deterioration of foods and everything takes us downhill. If we could change that, it's just as easy to go uphill.
It is if you know what you're doing. You see, a lot of people today are confused, and your show is really helping to separate the fads from the facts, and I really honor and appreciate you for that, because people are confused. They don't really know, well, what should I do? If I tell you that 65% of the aging process is in your hands, which it's true, only 35% of the aging process is genetic, well, then you go, that's an incredible amount of control that I have that I didn't know I had, but now what do I do? You see, if people just go around testing this and testing that and testing this and testing that, pretty soon you run out of time.
Now, genomics is something that you bring into play in your product. You want to tell me a little bit about genomics?
Well, genomics is the ability to read information which is encoded in DNA. Now, that's important because the aging process starts at the gene level. So as we look at the gene level, and I must say that our laboratory is the only laboratory with full-scale genomic, proteomic, biological, biochemical research capabilities in the world.
I know, and I read about that, and that is why I came to you and I said, wow, I've heard so much about aloe for so many years, totally prostituted, proliferated on the market, this much aloe, this much water, and they're selling it for $3, $4, $5 a bottle and even more, and it's doing nothing for people, so it gets a bad rap.
Well, it does.
That's where you come in with the good stuff.
Well, it's not only the good stuff in terms of the quality, but it's the mix. For example, if you look at the research on berries, the research on berries and the regeneration of the brain is just remarkable. We know that berry concentrates can have a profound effect on the health and longevity of your brain. I think everybody understands that having a healthy body but a degenerating brain is really not a good bargain. So you want to take care of your brain and your body. Berries do that in an incredible way. Now, what we've done is we've said, okay, is the average person going to eat 1.5 pints of blueberries a day? No, they're not. You can tell them to do that, but they won't do it. Exactly. So we concentrated blueberries, we concentrated cranberries and black cherries and Concord grapes so that people can take, listen to this, 1 fluid ounce. Which anybody can do. Right. And that's the equivalent, in terms of its anti-aging activity, the equivalent of 10 servings of fruits and vegetables.
And this is loaded with proanthocyanidins,
exactly,
free radicals.
Well, I say that again, proanthocyanidins, that's a long word, but you got it.
Scavengers. Yes. What does it play in the role of learning abilities, memory abilities in kids?
Well, if you look at how the brain works and you understand that it's terribly vulnerable to free radicals or to oxidation, you understand that you really have to deliver a potent, comprehensive antioxidant, and that's primarily what you're talking about when you're talking about berries and purple and blue foods. Even the peel of an eggplant has valuable antioxidants, but what do people do normally? They take the peel off. So again, food processing, bad idea. Cooking, overcooking your foods. Eat more fruits and vegetables and take advantage of the advanced research in concentrating these valuable compounds.
Now, we can actually measure today from urine is one of the tests that you're involved in, measure if we're aging or not. Tell me a little bit about the organs of the body, how we measure this.
Well, if you look at the seesaw of damage and repair, there are a couple of ways to measure the damage, and we've known about these. You can measure stress hormone levels, and that gives you a pretty good indication of the damage that you're experiencing. We can measure the amount of free radical or oxidation damage that you're undergoing. What we want to do is measure the repairability, and that's done by a test called the anabolic catabolic index. It's a simple urine test.
Now, we got some video footage. You're going to tell us a little bit about the metabolic functions inside, the macrophages, the blood cells. We have a few seconds
This footage is about the immune system and how miraculous it is, how it functions in your body, how there are certain cells that have specific defender roles that are critical for your longevity and your wellness.
Great. Let's have a look at how this all works in the body. Folks, this is going to blow your mind.
Our environment consists of a myriad of foreign substances ranging from chemicals to microbial agents like bacteria. Infectious agents like this fungus can enter the body and activate bodily defenses. Various parasites such as protozoans are also infectious agents. Parasitic worms produce a number of diseases. Among the many kinds of infectious agents, there is one that has remained the greatest threat to us all and continues to be the most elusive enemy to medical science. Its name, the virus. These and other infectious agents attack the body. As they try to gain control of vital cells, tissues, and organs, life-threatening conditions may result. The intricate networks of the lymphatic and circulatory systems carry all of these leukocytes and many chemical messages throughout every part of our body to sites of infection. Even through the smallest capillaries, the immune defense army passes with only enough space in some locations to make it through in single file. Leukocytes pass through spaces within the walls of the blood vessels. They migrate to target cells where they combat the invaders. One of the primary defenders of the immune system are the lymphocytes. These aggressive cells have two key strategies. They directly kill infected cells, also called target cells, or they resort to chemical warfare, releasing substances called lymphokines. Lymphokines assist cells in combating the infection. The very presence of viruses activate the lymphocytes. They are able to recognize the invaders and seek to destroy them. As in guerrilla warfare, the killer lymphocytes wander about through the jungles of tissue searching for target cells. They seek only those cells that are infected with virus. The lymphocytes make contact with the infected cells and destroy them before the viruses have a chance to mature and spread. As shown here, lymphocytes energetically hunt for virus-infected cells. Lymphocytes puncture holes in the membrane, which causes the cytoplasm to leak out and eventually kills the cell. Lymphocytes also make lymphotoxin, a toxic substance which poisons and kills the infected cell. The active lymphocytes select and kill only target cells that are infected by viruses. They leave normal, healthy cells intact. The job of the B lymphocyte is to produce antibodies. Antibodies are a remarkable collection of protein molecules that have specific biological activity. In this sequence, we can see a B cell in the center of the screen, surrounded by foreign antigens. The B cell produces antibody molecules which combine with the antigens and inactivate them. Phagocytes are signaled by lymphokines to migrate to the site of the infection. There they find disease-causing invaders or antigen-antibody complexes and attach to them. The phagocytes then engulf the invaders with arm-like tentacles called pseudopods. The pseudopods reach around the foreign substance to form a pocket. The foreign antigen is pulled inside of the phagocyte. In the phagocyte cytoplasm, granules containing enzymes digest and destroy the antigen. Besides engulfing infectious agents, phagocytes can also directly kill infected cells with the aid of antibody. The immune system can win most battles against disease. However, in some cases, invaders may be difficult to destroy. They can bypass the cellular and chemical defenses in some way. In such cases, the battle may rage on, seriously damaging body tissue. More illness can occur.
Now, that video footage was awesome. To see the intricacies of the blood cells flowing, this must have really enlightened a lot of people.
Well, imagine being able to look at aging, not just on the level of the person, but at the level of internal organs, and then at the level of the cell, and then at the level of the gene or the microscopic level. We are looking at aging on all those levels, and we're actually changing, altering the aging process at the gene level, at the level of the organ, at the level of the entire human, and that is what is so revolutionary. And it's important for people to look at things like that so they understand what a miracle that they are. You know, if you look at the way that immunity plays, or the role that it plays in aging. Again, it's that seesaw, Basil. It's, if you look at the damage that we experience, a lot of that damage comes from microbes, from bacteria, viruses, and fungal infections. So you have to have a strong immune system to reduce the damage that you're exposed to. At the same time, you need to have all those repair botanicals coming from the diet and from supplements that boost your ability to heal and repair. That's anti-aging.
Now, a lot of people will say, well, I eat an apple, an orange, a spinach a day. Well, what they don't realize is you'd have to have 172 spinaches in a day to get the amount of phytonutrients necessary for the body. The apple is full of pesticides, so they didn't do any good. And that's what this is for, to fight off these environmental toxins and food deficiencies, to increase that, right, Steve?
Well, a lot of what we do is we grow a wide variety of vegetables organically. We harvest them at their peak of their nutritional value. We dehydrate them with a very careful process called vacuum-assisted dehydration, so the temperature remains at a maximum of 80 degrees, so people can just utilize something like that. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't eat a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. I am begging people to eat a wide variety of fruits and vegetables. But in addition to that, as you said, because the food supply today is compromised by poor soil, by food processing, by chemicalization, because of that, we encourage people to consume what I call superfoods, super green foods, super blue foods, super red foods. And what is it about all these pigments that's so valuable is that each one has an inherent value either as an antioxidant, they have anti-cancer ability, and wherever you find these dark blue, purple, green, and red pigments, you find incredible value.
You get the antioxidant value. And people don't realize that they have a big plate of food like this, delivers them this much nutrients, whereas they could have this much food in a teaspoon that gives them that much in phytonutrients.
I know. And you know, a lot of times people say, oh, it's so confusing, you know, I don't know what to do. I go into a health food store and I just get so confused.